I'm going to record to the cloud, and then I'm going to highlight your video. So if you'll start talking for me, I will know where you're at, and I will get to share with you or share you with our world. Okay, here we go.
Thank, th- Thank you, Carlita.
Congratulations, honey. And I'm
Thanks.
sorry, I still stumble over your name. You
Oh,
will get it.
that name. You got it. It was perfect.
Okay, good.
Oh, ladies. So I still can't believe that I am a regional vice president. I don't know if you guys can relate to this as an area manager. Like that's when I feel like things are really starting to happen, and you all like strive to be a region, right? And you want to, just like Carlita said, help other people. But then when it really happens, it's like, oh shoot, how did this happen? Like, here I am. So if I could say anything to you ladies, is don't give up. um I did Armand for 5 years and did nothing with it except use it as a discount. And thank God for Whitney O'Neill. And when I say that, I mean it, because every year she would just kind of put a little bug in my ear and say, hey, do you want to do a party? And I would say, of course, I want to help you, but it wasn't the right time. And so if you have women or men on your team, don't give up on them, because they could be your next region. I'm so thankful. I think the big shift for me is in 2020 is when I decided I needed to do something different. And I realized that I either do something different or I'm going to continue doing the same thing over and over and over again. And I'm a nurse practitioner. I work in a busy cardiology practice, and I needed more time with my babies, and I needed more time. And if I didn't change something, it wasn't going to happen. So I promoted to district in a month. I promoted to area in a month with reduced qualification. And there were a lot of roadblocks that I met along my journey to get to region, but I had two choices. I could either stay in that difficult time, or I needed to find a solution. And that's, I think, what really shifted for me and what helped me go region is I found the solution, and I did not let anything get in my way. And if it tried to get in my way, I found a way to kind of overcome it. Now, it wasn't easy. I'm not going to say that, but it was a choice that I made every single day. And you guys can do this too. If I can do this, you can do this. And so sometimes it feels like, there are things placed in our life that prohibit us from doing things, but those are only things. You can overcome them by doing small, minute changes. I had to get over a lot of things, you guys. I had a ton of fear. I had a ton of doubt. I had to change my what if I can't do this to what if I can. And that was a process for me. And it didn't always feel good, but I knew that if I continued to grow as a person, that I would eventually make it to where I needed to be. And to get to region was more than a title for me. It's not about being region, the title. For me, it's getting time back with my family. It's helping other people. Naturally, I'm a helper being in a medical field, but you don't have to naturally have that. Your whys will be different. And my whys became real big and real clear to me in 2020. And that's what just made me push harder and harder to get here. And so don't give up. Keep working on yourself. We're all works in progress. There's no time for perfectionism in this. I had to get over that too, because I'm a people pleaser. And so that had to go. I had to give up control. I had to give up all kinds of things. And I firmly believe that God placed me here. He used Arbonne to change me because I wasn't listening to him for many years. And so he thought, okay, Heather, I'm going to use Arbonne because I know you're passionate about products and helping people. And I know you love nutrition and lipstick and all the things. So I guess if it's going to be Arbonne, that's what it's going to be. So here I am, a changed person. I'm so thankful for Whitney. I'm so thankful for Arbonne. And I'm thankful for all of you. And just don't give up.
Thank you, Heather. That was awesome. I have a few questions for you because we have time, because we've shortened what we do on these calls. I would love to for you to talk specifically about time constraints, because that's one of the biggest hesitations and obstacles that people have to get around. Can you kind of talk specifically about what you did to make that happen? Because I think it'll be valuable for people on here, but also for us to help share with other people.
Absolutely. Yes. So time, that's the biggest thing, that we don't have enough time, right? And so I use that as my reason to find time because I didn't have it. And I knew that if I didn't work my business strategically and work it in every single little bit. So in between patients, I would pick up the phone and I would call somebody. I would respond to a text message. I would put in an order. That last week when I was finishing Region, it was difficult, but I found little chunks of time and I dedicated time. Being a busy mom, I have two daughters, 4 and 6. I have a husband who's awesome. But you guys, at the beginning of my Arbonne journey, my husband was not supportive of me. He is supportive, but he was real leery, and it took some time. And I had to sit him down and say, "Listen, I need your help. This is important to me. I want to make it a priority." And he finally got on board, and that was when I was able to really carve out chunks of time. And that might look like 10 minutes here and 10 minutes there. It might look like when you're waiting in line to pay for something at the grocery store, or when you're waiting to drop your kids off at school. But everybody can find the time. And if you feel like you don't have the time, nothing is ever going to change. And my why was getting some time back.
I love that. You can spend those moments scrolling through social media, or you can spend those moments being intentional in your business. And that truly is like how simple it is to be able to build a business. It just takes those little nuggets of time for you to be able to do that, and achieve great things versus nothing, at the end of your day, because you were just mindlessly doing something, so, and it sounds like you definitely just put your priorities on your calendar and let it be okay with whoever, because it was what needed to be for your family. And
Yes.
you got rid of the other things that could have taken time, and maybe just for a season, but
Mhm.
it definitely has to happen for a season whenever you're going like you are and doing what you're doing, because I'm sure you work more than 40 hours a week.
Yes.
I remember that job. Um, so I feel like your story is my story. I have a couple of other questions.
Sure.
How about, like, how did Whitney ask you? Because I think people look at people like you. They look at people. I'm so grateful to Martha McIntyre for um like not giving up on me when I said no to her over and over again, and that she initially even asked me to do this because she was a stay-at-home mom, did not have she had a high school degree, I had a master's degree, and if we judge people, it looks like people like us don't need this. What did Whitney say, and how did she do it? And I just want to say congratulations, Whitney, for doing a great job, and thank you for not judging.
It's so true. You guys know this. Everybody needs Arbonne. There isn't one single person that doesn't need more time or more money. So when you look at somebody, it doesn't matter if they are a surgeon or a stay-at-home mom or anything in between. Don't ever hesitate to ask them, because remember, our job is to simply offer the business opportunity to them. They get to decide. And so what Whitney would do every year is she would call me up and she would say, "Hey, um, I would really, would you be willing to host a party for me?" And I think she knew this. I always wanted to help her out. And so she would do the party and I would invite my friends and my family. And then she would say to me, "Heather, you know that if you did this, this is the money that you could be making." And I was like, okay, because at the time I was making a good income. I didn't need that income, but what I needed was time back. And so then she knew that. And so she would say, "You're really busy." Because that's the excuse I used, you guys, every single time. I was like, "I'm too busy. I don't have time for Arbonne. I don't have time to do this." And she's like, "Well, exactly. But if you want time back with your children, like, this might be something." She would always say, "I think you should just take a look at it. I think you should just consider it." And I never felt like she was being pushy ever, because I knew she had my best intention in her mind and in her heart. And then everything that happened in 2020, and I was like, "This is the time." It finally, I got smart. I said yes.
Yes, yes. I love that. There's so many things going through my head that I am going to ask you, because we do activity, and what kind. I know everybody always wants to know, what did you do, that helped you get to Region, and even as quickly as you did, because from the time you started your business, I know earnings.arbonne.com, your story's not typical, but what was your timeline, like from starting to region qualify?
Yes.
Or,
So I started in April of last year and I promoted to district May 1st and promoted to area June 1st. And then just promoted to region. And I think you guys, for me, it was consistency. I had a goal in mind. I set my timeline and I said by May 1st, I'm going to be a region. It was a big goal, you guys, within a year. I didn't know if I was going to be able to achieve it. Remember, I had all kinds of doubt, but I said, this is what I'm going to work towards. If I don't get here, I don't get here, but I am going to make sure that when I look back at this last year, that I have done everything possible to get here. And I was intentional about my time, about my follow-up. When I was going region, my doubt crept in big time. I believe that Satan uses certain things in our lives to try to deter us from where we're supposed to be at. And I said to myself, I'm just going to do this over 3 months because that feels more comfy to me. And if I'm able to do it, great. If I'm not, it's okay. But then Whitney, you guys, she's an amazing leader. And she said, Heather, why not just shoot for 56 your second month? And I was like, oh, I don't know, that feels uncomfortable. And I was like, why not? What kind of a leader am I if I don't try to push towards my own goals when I'm trying to help and teach others to do the same thing? I needed to listen to myself. And so at 2 weeks before finishing, we had to do 28,000 QV and it was a stretch, you guys, but I rallied my team and I said, this is our goal. And it was about we, not me. And I said, this is what we're going to strive to do. So let's all pull together and work together. And by the grace of God, we did it. And looking back at it, it's like, now I know, okay, everything that I was able to do and said I was going to do, I tried. And even if I wouldn't have finished, you guys, I would have known in my heart that I did everything that I possibly could have.
no regrets. I say that all the time, Heather, and I just shared that on our book club this past week, that's how I went into my business. I didn't know if it was going to work, but I knew I was going to do everything I could so that at the end of the day, I knew it wasn't because of something I didn't do. And I worked to prove it right. I didn't work to prove it wrong. And I think so many people work to try to prove it wrong instead of just doing everything they can to prove it right. You guys, that mentality right there is so powerful. If you just get in here and you challenge this opportunity by doing the natural and letting God do the super, like we learned in our book club, that you get to see the crazy that can happen with this kind of vehicle, because it is we, not you, doing all of this. And we make a bigger difference than one of us by ourselves. So I love your story. I love that you are at this level and that you are leading other people with this kind of heart, this kind of attitude, this kind of mindset, and just super excited about the future that you have and the difference that you're going to get to make, because I know you do what you do as a nurse to make a difference, and I did too, but I didn't make near the difference that I get to make doing Arbonne because of the access of people that we get to touch and reach. And that is just so exciting for me to know that that's what's waiting around the corner for you, even more so than what you can even imagine or guess. So thank you again for
Thank
sharing
you.
and helping so much. I do have one question. Somebody asked, like, what kind of activity did you do? Did you have any one major kind, or did you just do it all?
Okay, ladies, I did everything virtually, right? Because we know what happened last year, and I am not. I mean, I can do Facebook, but I'm horrible at Instagram, like horrible. So I built my business off of Zoom, swag bags, so people can touch and feel the products. I did one in-person party that entire time just because of where I'm located in the country, and how things were. But I think the biggest thing is that I connected to my clients, and I took my job as a consultant real. I took it as they are trusting me, and I thanked them, and I sent thank you cards, and I did follow-ups and established that connection and that trust relationship, which is so key. So, and if you're doing something in your business, whether it's, virtual or in person, and something isn't working, don't be afraid to change it. If you feel like, hey, this just isn't working, talk to your upline and say, hey, this is my verbiage. I did that a lot with Whitney. Tell me what I'm doing. Be coachable. That is so important, because your upline has been where you are, and they can show you the way and pave that path because they've done it before.
Yes, yes. And I love that you were just saying coachable. And you guys, be casual with this. Like, it's not, I think we get so overwhelmed with the how to's that we forget the connection part. And honestly, you guys, if we just keep this so simple that what we do in Arbonne is we use our products and we tell other people about them. That's it. And we stop using other people's products. I always say that we stop using others, we use our products and we tell others about it. There is no perfect way and there is no one way. If you just genuinely get out there and connect with people and you do that in any way you can connect, you're going to see and get results. So I love that. I love your story. I know, we had to learn a lot of things in 2020, but you certainly took it on and made it work anyway. So I'm going to stop recording now and I'm going to try to save this because I'm going to add this to, I'm going to add our RVP success stories to our website so that we can access these and share these stories that are so encouraging with people, that they get to see that this is just normal people that come in and take advantage of an opportunity that allows us to do extraordinary things with our lives. So again, congratulations, sweet lady. Can't wait to meet you in person.
Thank you.